Hello and welcome to your investment trains brought to you courtesy of the Zambia Development Agency and ZNBC. Now, the ZDA is Zambia's premier economic development agency with a multifaceted mandate of promoting and facilitating trade, investment and enterprise development in the country. The agency is also responsible for building and enhancing the country's investment profile for increased capital inflows, capital information, employment creation, and growth of the medium, small, and micro enterprise sector. On today's episode, we discuss ZDA's performance in 2020 and the outlook for 2021. To take us through this discussion is ZDA Director General Mr. Mukula Makasa. And sir, it's good to have you in the studio.
Thank you very much, Hezron.
I should congratulate you. This is the first time I'm interviewing you as Director General. I've had the opportunity to interview you as Acting Director General, but congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm extremely humbled and greatly honored. I thank the board at the agency, the minister and the president and cabinet and the entire government for giving me such an opportunity. It's a very rare privilege and honor to serve this great country in driving business development in the country, promoting growth of the economy, spurring trade, attracting investment both domestically and externally, and also driving the growth of our micro, small, medium enterprises and our smallholder farmers and cooperatives at large.
That's beautiful. Now, let's just look at the outlook of ZDA's performance year 2020.
Well, the year 2020 was pretty tight. We were, first and foremost, the economy had already started slowing down in the last 2-3 years. And then that was compounded by COVID-19, which exacerbated growth. And, generally speaking, the global economy had slowed down by I think almost 4.5%, and even the country itself was also affected, and I think our growth was hovering around 3.9%. And so, but despite that, we were able to support 2,500 micro, small, and medium enterprises, and we were able to link at least 650 to markets, and also facilitate access to credit for them in order to supply their products. We were also able to galvanize exports, non-traditional exports valued at 4%, although we had projected 18 million. We were able to attract or rather project investment of about almost 6 billion, although our target was 3.5 billion. But our actualized of that investment was $500 million, although we were anticipating at least to harness about close to $1 billion, about 900 million. I think in terms of capacity building, we trained 1,100 MSMEs in entrepreneurship, and then we were also able to hold a very successful import-export virtual conference, which attracted almost 600 participants, and that was quite a milestone because we're adapting as an institution to the new normal. It's not possible anymore to do these huge conferences that we used to have, which would attract huge numbers, but in a very modest way, we were able to galvanize or create traction on the marketplace using online conferencing facilities.
Let's just look at the investment projections for year 2020. How are the numbers looking like?
For 2020, like I said, we had projected close to 6 billion. But the target was 3.5 billion.
Okay, awesome. The multi-facility zones, economic zones, I had an opportunity to visit the Chambishi multi-facility zone, which is awesome facility there. How are we doing in this area?
Well, in 2020, we had managed to project close to 4.5 billion in the multi-facility economic zones, to project that kind of investment. But the actualization was much lower than that. We only managed to actualize less than $1 billion.
Could that be because of the novel COVID-19?
Certainly, we've experienced a significant drop in the investment inflows as a result of COVID-19. But like I mentioned in the outset of the discussion, the global economy had started slowing down even 3 years ago, and so even our country has also been affected. But that notwithstanding, COVID also exacerbated, the economic slowdown. But we are putting measures, and I think you may be aware, the President, His Excellency the President, a few months ago launched the Economic Recovery Plan, and that's what we're working around. And I think during the discussion later on, we'll delve into that.
Of course, the 7th National Development Plan prioritized the employment creation. How are the numbers in the year 2020? Employment creation.
Employment creation. In 2020, we created, or rather we projected about 28,000 jobs. And 22,000 of those was from the large investors. And the MSMEs contributed 6,000 towards the jobs that we projected.
Which were the sectors? Which sectors are we looking at? Is it agriculture or mining? Which sectors thrived in this year 2020?
Yeah, the biggest contributor, interestingly enough, was manufacturing.
Okay.
And I think, let me maybe simply state it this way, that, finally, government's national industrial policy is beginning to bear fruit, accelerating industrialization. So we had 12,000 jobs created in the manufacturing sector, followed by the construction sector, which created about, I think, close to about 8,000. And then the remaining jobs were created by the energy sector, agriculture, and a few in trading and so in the service sector.
Let's look at export promotion. I had an opportunity to interview Dr. Chewe here, ZDF. I would like to look at the various activities undertaken during the year under review, which is the year 2020 in terms of export.
Well, like I said, in 2020, we had one significant event, which was the import-export, which we undertook, I think, towards the end of the year. I think that was in November or December. November, actually. It was a very big event. We were able to attract close to 600 participants. We also undertook a number of online, export promotion undertakings, and all this culminated in projecting about $18 million worth of non-traditional exports from within the agency. But the actualization only bore fruit of about $4 million. Nationally, I think the Central Statistics, the ZAMStats has been providing some information on that. We're looking at close to 1.8 billion projected in terms of the non-traditional exports, and the actualized is close to about $1.5 billion.
Compared to 2019, are we making progress, or we're going down?
I think we've gone down. We've gone down. We've gone down. If you really look at it, in 2019 we were close to 2 billion. Yeah, so we've really gone down. But again, this is as a result of the slowing down economy globally and nationally as well, which has also affected nationally. But and so the bulk of our efforts, like in 2021, will focus on regional trade. We're really intensifying our efforts to contribute to the regional economic integration, and that's why the agency has drafted, or rather realigned our strategic plan. We now have a new plan for export development, which is called the N8+1. We're targeting all our neighboring countries, plus South Africa, which is the +1. And so we are helping out our clients with product development. We're doing significant market research, identifying what sort of products or subsectors are on demand out there within the region. And so we've zeroed in specifically like on Congo and Angola. We just had an online business forum with Angola on Friday, and it looks very promising. There's huge demand for processed products, particularly from agriculture, and also light manufacturing. And so we're encouraging all our people out there who are into manufacturing, both agro-processing and light manufacturing, to come to ZDA, because we even have a fund. You told me that David was here, I think recently, called the Export Development Fund, which is ready to support any enterprise that is in a position to export.
That's beautiful, but let's look at the growing numbers of cooperative societies, and of course what you're just talking about, your meeting with Namibia and other Congo. I had another opportunity of interviewing the Secretary General, Commissioner, I don't know, General for Kalumbira, who did mention that you are working together in enabling this sector of cooperatives to be a part of this export business. Just give a brief about the role ZDA is playing in ensuring that people are involved in ensuring that our economy has a boom.
Well, I think if you may be aware, Hezron, the government has prioritized formation of cooperatives as another alternative form of business enterprise which can absorb most of our poor, vulnerable and marginalized citizens in the country. And we're working very closely with a wide range of cooperatives, not only in agriculture, but also in manufacturing, construction, natural products, industries and so forth. And the idea is to enhance their capacity so that they can participate in the domestic supply chains and also regional supply chains. And so what ZDA is doing is we are also facilitating the access to capital, to enhance their capitalization, and then to also foster linkages within these supply chains by making sure that they get integrated by accessing these markets. And so what we are also doing is making sure that these cooperatives graduate, they grow, they don't remain at the same level. And so we want to make sure that they even go into exports in the regional markets, so that they can also contribute towards generating foreign exchange. Because I mean, if you really look at it, this is one astute intervention which can help make sure that we boost participation of our people in the mainstream economy, because after all, the 7th National Development Plan says leaving no one behind. That's tagline. And then ZDA has a tagline saying that we're here to make potential possible. And so by employing cooperatives, we're trying to make sure that the potential of our people out there is made possible.
You did allude that the ZDA did manage to train about 6,000 SMEs. What's the impact of this training? Are we soon going to see results coming out from these trainings that you've been offering SMEs?
Yes, we actually we trained 1,100 MSMEs. So the idea is we begin with mindset change. That's the entrepreneurship, helping them to generate business ideas. And once they've generated those business ideas, we help them to transpose those ideas on paper to build bankable business plans which can attract investment from potential financiers or investors and that we've partnered with, such as the Zambia Agribusiness Trade Project. There's a component there called Market Connect. where they can access capital in order to expand their businesses and to operationalize them and to make sure that they can be integrated into the domestic supply chains and also regional supply chains to start exporting. We also signed an agreement, if you might recall, recently with Musika. So we're also working very close with Musika in order to ensure that our clients have access to capitalization, which is very crucial and fundamental for technology transfer and for growth and accessing various markets on the marketplace. And then the other reason why we are also undertaking capacity building is also to help out with incubation, product development, because a business is about a product. If a business doesn't have an attractive product, it won't succeed, it won't grow. And so that's the other reason. And then finally, the capacity building also is part of expansion of the business model. We help them to draft or build what you call business growth strategies, which are very essential for growth. So that's why we are implementing. And the results are beginning to yield. So most of these businesses that you're seeing, like the 650 that accessed markets last year, which was some significant growth, they all accessed markets and they all accessed capital. So that they're as a result of part of those that were trained.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So you are happy with the 2020 in terms of SMEs development, in terms of training, and also the recapped business opportunities that they've taken advantage of?
Well, I'm content, but not satisfied. You know, like I said, because of COVID, we were really constrained, but we are looking beyond COVID. We are devising new strategies or mechanisms of extending capacity building, market access, and access to capital. We are digitizing our activities now. And of course, most of our clients, like MSMEs, are struggling with access to digital platforms. But that's the direction that the world is going. And so
it's our new normal.
That's the new normal. And so we are encouraging our clients to invest even in these very simple, low-cost digital technologies in order to migrate. Even yourselves as ZNB, so you've migrated to digital, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So everyone should migrate.
We've gone paperless now.
Exactly.
Mr. Makasa, I want to get your concluding remarks, but before you do that, just what are your expectations in the year 2021?
Well, in the year 2021, our expectations is that we should be able to train at least over 1,000 or up to 1,500 MSMEs.
Which sectors are you looking at?
Is
it an open market?
We're targeting largely agriculture. We're targeting manufacturing. We're targeting tourism. We're also targeting the services, you know. There are a lot of MSMEs in the service sector. And so, and with COVID, it's one coping mechanism that we can employ to help our people to survive, you know. We're also very much looking forward to enhancing our export, you know, platforms, you know, non-traditional exports, in order to boost non-traditional exports. Because as you may be aware, the economic recovery plan will hinge on how much we export, how much we drive exports.
Exactly.
And so we are placing a lot of emphasis on exports, particularly partnerships with Angola and Congo. And so we're trying to push as many of our clients into exporting agricultural products, light manufactured products into these two markets. You know, very simple things like your water, your cassava meal, your cassava chunks, you know, your dried vegetables, very simple things, you know, not rocket science.
I like the way you make it sound so simple.
Yeah.
But is it as simple as you put it? Because as I interact with you, there's also the kind of feedback I get from people who know me or follow me on Facebook. They'll ask questions to say, it doesn't really sound as simple as it is to get to ZDA and be assisted. Now, my main question here is that How simple have you made it? How easy is the process for this small medium enterprise to achieve that mandate that you've placed on them to say, the market is there, ZDA has created the market, come on board and let's do this together? How simple is it?
Well, like I said, our priority is to facilitate mindset change. You know, mindset change re-engineers an entrepreneur. They begin to think smart, they become innovative, creative, they are able to create, you know, business ideas, or they generate business ideas. And from those ideas, we then help them to put them on paper to become bankable. Because every financial or investor out there, they look for a bankable business plan. And then the next thing is we help them to incubate the same business idea in order to come up with a product. And that's what, once that product is attractive and is placed on the marketplace, as ZDA, we handhold them and take them to the market. We actually negotiate and open doors for them. That's our biggest mandate. And once we get them to the market, they need financing. So we help them to get the startup capital, and then later on, eventually, when they've crystallize the business idea and the product, we help them to get the seed capital in order to commercialize, and then we help them to open the door and to get into the marketplace and allow them to swim their way to prosperity. In other words, my job and the Team ZDA is to create penalties for our clients, you know, both the large and the MSMEs, smallholder farmers, and the cooperatives. And we make sure that the goalkeeper is given a red card, and so that potential is made possible. Our clients score. Once our clients score, once the private sector scores, it means Zambia has won.
That's where the growth of the economy is in the private sector.
Exactly. It's the engine of the economy. Yeah.
So, Mr. Mukula Makasa, it's been always inspiring. You've got this energy that you spar when you speak, and it's very good. It's contagious. I hope that the viewers out there, the SMEs, are excited to hear from you, and also to just get the direction of how 2020 was and how 2021 is looking in terms of ZDA. So be a part of this program so that you can learn what is happening in terms of the programs, the training that ZDA has to offer. This has been Investment Trains, brought to you courtesy of Zambia Development Agency and ZNBC. I've been your host, Hezron Ngosta. See you and God bless you.